Mandalorian Season 3, Chapter 22. I have a lot to say, and it's very much not much of a breakdown at all. I'm going to go over this very quickly because I have a lot of things to say, or not much at all. I really don't know what to say about this. This Mandalorian episode is something that is just, it feels like a telltale sign of just what Star Wars is now, and it is just unfortunate what we are now at with Star Wars. It is not just Lucasfilm and Disney pandering and saying stupid stuff and then maybe we get some good stuff. We're in the extremely bad content part of this now. There's nothing really good anymore. Mandalorian episode, it starts out with some Quarrens or whatever their species is, and they're on their ship. Don't know, doesn't really matter. They get, confronted by the Mandalorian mercenaries that Bo-Katan was with. We see them at the beginning, and then we get to the intro. Bo and Din are off to find other Mandalorians. They're off to find Bo-Katan's old Mandalorians that she was with. But before that, we have to go through another whole episode of probably some of the worst stuff in Star Wars that I think I have ever seen. So you think that the sequel trilogy can be some sort of distasteful load of crap. This makes even earlier Disney Star Wars right here look incredible. It makes Mandalorian Season 2, Season 1. Even Andor looks like a lot better than what we just saw in this episode. I can't praise anything in this episode. It is one of the worst episodes of Disney Star Wars I have ever watched. It is phenomenally bad. So, let's just cut to the chase. So, Bo-Katan and Din Djarin, they're about to go and see the other Mandos, but their ship gets taken over by the people in charge of this planet they're on. So instead, we have to go on a side mission for the people that are ruling this planet. And so they go on a little thing, they go to the main capital or whatever the hell it is. They enter the room, and I don't know what to say anymore. We run into Jack Black and Lizzo. This is Star Wars. This is Star Wars. So, that's what we got. Now I will say, they could have done something serious with these characters. Despite the pointless, extremely, very obvious and clear, just shoved in cameos of random celebrities into Star Wars now. Hear that? Mother Nature's pissed about the state of Star Wars too. They could have still done something serious with these two characters. They did not. They stuck with the comedic, funny, lighthearted load of crap that they do. You would assume that with Jack Black. I like Jack Black. A lot of the stuff I've seen with him, I like him in it because it's fit for his type of character and his type of just how he is. He's a funny comedian, actor guy. I like this. I like a lot of stuff he's in. This is not where he should be. Okay. Jack Black in Star Wars is extremely off-putting, and then we got Lizzo in Star Wars. Is she even an actor? I don't even think so. I don't know. I don't think so though. And she's just shoved in there because she is some singer and she needs to be a celebrity cameo. So this is where Star Wars is right now. We are getting massive, random, shoved in celebrity cameos for no particular reason whatsoever. This is Disney Star Wars. This is what we're at now. This is what we do. And they're just comedic, pointless, throwaway characters that we'll never freaking see again. Okay? This is comedic. This is laughable in all the wrong ways. This is terrible. So, let's get back to the point. They need Mando and Bo-Katan to help them solve a droid uprising thing. Some droid uprising. They have droids on their planet and they're malfunctioning and there's some weird uprising and they need their help. So they go off and do that side mission. They run into Christopher Lloyd, the guy from Back to the Future. I think there was a rumor he was going to be in the season, and we didn't know what role he was going to be. It turns out it's an extremely pointless role, another celebrity cameo that is just shoehorned in there for a moment. Just look at this. This is a person you know, right? So he is a guy who kind of runs the droids and watches all the droids on the planet, and they ask him about some stuff, and basically Bo-Katan and Din Djarin, they go off and they do this whole mission about finding out what's going on with the droids. I'm going to be honest, it's completely irrelevant. It doesn't really matter. The whole story is pointless. It means nothing. Okay, and if it does later, I don't know how the hell it can mean something later. This whole story before the end bit of the episode means nothing. So after they're done with their mission, they realize Christopher Lloyd's character is the one behind all the droid uprisings. He's, infecting them with some nano droids or whatever. Doesn't really matter. He's the bad guy. He's an old separatist. And we get a name drop of Count Dooku. That's basically all the excitement we can now get in Disney Star Wars, is a name drop of an old character that George Lucas created. So we get off that mission finally. We're done with Lizzo, we're done with Jack Black, and we're done with Christopher Lloyd. So essentially they just run off and they help the city or whatever, and they let them leave to go back to the mission they were doing. So I don't want to. The only thing I could say about this whole episode basically is what this whole chunk was essentially is Disney corporate whatever bullshit that they're doing. I don't know what the hell they're doing. But essentially the Mandalorian, the smash hit that it was, this is the result of what you get with Disney realizing they have a smash hit. Now all these brain dead celebrities want to shove themselves into Star Wars now as a cool little cameo. Look, I want to be in Star Wars. They did this with Book of Boba Fett too. They had like cameos and stuff too. This is just what Star Wars is now. Okay? And the Mandalorian season, this isn't just my anger of this episode. This season has been all over the place. There's been some very little moments where it's like, oh, wow, that's something that they could do and build to in the story. This is the old story that we were following. Last week, they did a little bit of that. This week, they did nothing. This is the third to last episode of the season. So, at the end, they go to a random-ass flat field that looks like they could have just gone wherever, and they just put a bunch of CG ships in there. Oh my goodness. Bo-Katan confronts X-Wolves, who was controlling their old Mandalorian crew. He was the guy who was with her at Costco Reeves, and apparently he's leading the whole crew now. She confronts him. She wants to lead them again. She fights him. She wins. Of course she's going to win. And then he still says at the end that, oh, but you don't have the Darksaber, so how are you really going to lead anyways? Din Djarin makes up the whole story. He doesn't really make it up. He tells the story of how she saved him from the droid creature on Mandalore. So technically, that Mandalorian Darksaber was taken from Din Djarin. That creature defeated him and took the saber. And Bo-Katan came in and saved him from that droid creature. Meaning he did it in a very big technical way that Bo-Katan can now just take the Darksaber back from Din Djarin because technically she won it from this droid creature on Mandalore. So she essentially takes it the same way she did from Sabine. He literally just hands it to her. So instead of some cool duel that they could have done with Din Djarin and Bo-Katan, this tension that they were building up at the end of season 2 and even at the beginning of season 3, this whole thing of like, oh god, they're gonna have to fight eventually because she really wants that Darksaber. No, she's just given it, and now she has the Darksaber. That's it. That's how she gets the Darksaber. And now we all know that she's probably going to go get the Mythosaur and all that crap now. So this is Bo-Katan's story now. This isn't even Din Djarin's show anymore. Grogu's just there to show up and every now and then and just look cute. He's not even doing anything anymore. This is the Bo-Katan show with celebrity cameos from whoever now. Okay, we're getting freaking Lizzo, we're getting Jack Black, we're getting Christopher Lloyd. I know some of these actors are fine, but they don't fit in Star Wars. What are they doing in a Mandalorian episode? Completely sidetracking our main characters from our main plot. And goofy little cameos too. They're not even like serious. What are we doing? What the hell are we doing? The Mandalorian is far, far gone from what they were in season 2. Like, I know a lot of people might be skeptical of Mandalorian from time to time in season 1 and 2, maybe some cameos from characters that you maybe didn't like seeing or whatnot. Those are all like pretty reasonable, like story point things that you could say like, oh, I don't know if that was good or not. We had Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, we had all that stuff. We had Luke Skywalker, but this is like a 180 from whatever they were doing, even in 1 and 2. Like, this is just bad, guys. This is bad. Now, again, I've had reviews in the past episodes of the season where there's been some good stuff, but it's not enough. It's not enough good stuff, and there's no coordination of the story at all. It's just all over the place. There's random shit thrown everywhere, and I cannot make sense of what the story is. There is no story. There is no main villain. They tease Moff Gideon, and then they go and do this instead of show Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon is supposed to be this looming threat in the background, right? I thought maybe we'd see him this week. No, instead, we just get this random shit. Now, obviously, we're going to get all that stuff at some point this season, right? We're going to see a little bit of it, so it's all going to be crammed within the last episode or two, and that's it. So instead, we had to spend a whole episode with Lizzo, Jack Black, Christopher Lloyd on a separate side mission to find out what's going on with droids, instead of following the story of the Mandalorian. Okay? And by the way, it's not even the Mandalorian who is Din Djarin. It's not even his story anymore. Now it's Bo-Katan's story and how she's going to rule Mandalore again, how she's the greatest Mandalorian to ever live. Okay, I like the character of Bo-Katan. I do. I like her from the Clone Wars, and she was good in Season 2. But this whole thing, she's taken over Din Djarin's show. I don't even want to hear the argument of, like, it's called The Mandalorian. It's not called Din Djarin. Shut up. Okay, this is Din Djarin's story. We followed him and Grogu for 2 seasons. It's not his story anymore, and now it's just a celebrity, random load of bullshit. And I'm sick of it. I really am. 2 episodes left to tell whatever story they're trying to tell here. And I'm done. I can't do this. I can't do this, whatever they're doing. I can't. Okay? I don't really have much else to say. This is just how I feel about this episode. I don't have much of a in-depth thought about it because I just don't care. Okay? This isn't Star Wars. This is like 5% maybe some Star Wars from like the animated shows gone all mixed in together, and now we got Darksaber stuff again. But overall, it's just like corporate Disney load of bullcrap. Like, it really, really is. And either way, I know they're going to do a bunch of random crap right at the end because that's just how it goes now. I just think it's going to be a bunch of really rushed nonsense, and then we're going to jump into some stupid maybe cameo at the end or something real quick. I don't know. Mandalorian Season 3, it's been quite a disaster. The last 2-3 episodes have just been so disorganized in the story, and this episode is just the worst one of the whole series, I would say, for sure. There's been some filler episodes, but this is like the worst episode of the whole series, for sure. So that's my breakdown or review of The Mandalorian Season 3, Chapter 22, or Episode 6 of the season. I'm not even going to hope for it to get better next week. It might. I don't really know if I care at this point. I will review it. I will cover it. I will watch it. But this is bad. This is really bad, and I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't even know if John and Dave are in control anymore. If they are, you guys really, really fucked this up, and it sucks. This is a bad, bad episode and a bad season of Mandalorian.